How's it going, guys? And welcome to Week 1 Wednesday, or as we like to call it, Dude, I love it. I love it. I'm sad that we have to be a little away from each other, but I'm stoked that we get to be in the same room together.
It's okay. I still feel close.
I still feel close, too. So, guys, today we are going to be talking about big knives. So we're going to be talking about, should you EDC a big knife? Do you EDC a big knife? Does it make sense to EDC a big knife? And as always, WoW is brought to us by We Knives. So the good people over at We Knives help make this show happen. And if you don't know why that's important, hold on to the end. I promise it'll be worth your time. Now, as always with WoW, before we jump into knives we have on the table, we do a couple new arrivals. So anybody who's tuning in live has a chance to kind of catch up and get here and enjoy this part of the show. So, new arrival that's kind of new, not quite new, but I know a lot of you guys will be excited, and I don't know if all of you guys have seen this. We have Elementums. So, we have a handful of Elementums, a couple G10 ones, but we've got some of our copper and brass back in, both coated and non-coated blades of the Elementum. Super great knife, D2 blade, deep carry pocket clip. You guys know about the Elementum. It is a wonderful knife. So Blade HQ exclusive on those. And then we also have a new Blade HQ exclusive, which is the Shred Carbon Fiber, which is really light, especially when comparing it to the copper one that I just showed off. But the Shred Carbon Fiber is really light, D2 blade, all the other things we love about the Civivi Elementum, but just light and with a really cool pattern. So one of these variations has already sold out. So if you want to get yourself a Shred Carbon Fiber, now is the time because they're not going to be around for a long time. And we have more and more Elementums on the way. It's just such a great knife that we're giving it like the full treatment and all the fun different patterns and stuff. So the Shred Carbon Fiber is going for $76.50, and the brass, that was a brass one, not a copper one. They look very similar if you look online. That was a brass one that I showed off. That goes for $67. And then we have some G10 ones that go for that beautiful $50 price point. Kurt, you have a new arrival for us.
I do. Right? I have two. Do you want me to do both at the same time?
I mean, it's up to you. That means I have to do two in a row. So
fine. Only one. Only one, guys. This is the Bark River Puukko. Ooh wee. Look at that little dandy. Look at that. Polished micarta. We got 3V steel. I mean, what don't you like?
Exactly.
Right? Beautiful leather.
Yeah, beautiful leather sheath.
Hey, this is kind of interesting. I think it's big enough to maybe go scout carry.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good sheath. It's got the fire starter hole here. Polished micarta. Let's see. Oh, hey, we're talking about big knives. I'm going to talk about some blade lengths.
Okay, good idea.
So this is a 4.3 inch blade. And let's see, 3V, you got your polished, it looks like canvas micarta. Get your leather sheath. And, let's see. This one is a first product run. Ooh-wee.
And what does that thing run for?
This is $219.95 on the website.
Not bad for a dyed-in-the-wool bushcrafter. You know
for sure.
So, cool. So kind of on the exact opposite end of the spectrum from that knife, we have the Kizer Vanguard. This is the Contrail. So this is I believe this is a Justin Lundquist design. I might be. Yep, it is. Justin Lundquist. It felt like a Justin Lundquist design. So the Justin Lundquist design, 154 cm blade steel, full G10 scales, nice little pocket clip. It's just a good little Vanguard knife from Kizer. It's a new one, nice little stubby boy. Definitely not a big knife by any measure. And this one goes for $59 on the website. All right, Kurt, you said you had two, so what's the other one you got?
I have another White River.
Ooh, okay.
Bam! Check this one out. Okay, now this one, as soon as I saw it was on the table, I was like, yes. White River. This is the Ursus 45.
Or is it Ursus or Ursa? I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's
Ursus. It's bear, right? It means bear, right?
Ursa? Ursus?
Let us know in the comments.
Let us know. Dude, the burlap micarta on this is fantabulous. This is S35 VN steel. It comes in a 4.3 inch blade. This thing really fits my hand well. And look at the blade stock on that beast.
Dude, the thing that's catching my eye from where I'm at, I could be wrong, is that a micarta fire starter?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes.
How many dollars is this? What does this cost?
So for the cost of $250,
I
you
might have
can
to
get
a new
this
knife.
fire starter, this micarta fire starter, and you get the knife and sheath for free.
For free. Yeah, perfect.
That's the deal. That's what you get. So S35VN, just shy of a 4.5-inch blade. I'm not kidding. This thing is sweet. That fits my hand really nice.
That's a good looking knife.
That burlap though.
Dude, that's a good looking knife. I'm into that.
It's nice.
Sweet. All right. Then the last new arrival that we have until we jump into some big knives is, Kurt, have you ever asked yourself, Rambo's cool, right?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like the coolest, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the question. Have you ever asked yourself, wait, what if Rambo, you know his knife? Of course, his knife, right? The
yeah.
knife that probably got a lot of us into knives,
Yeah.
right? What if instead of a knife, it was a shovel and a saw, and it could open bottles and it could open cans, and maybe the saw or maybe the shovel had a serrated blade on it?
I mean, it sounds like your opportunities and your abilities to miscellaneously survive in the wilderness
Exponentially increased, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, don't worry because Schrade has you covered. Jamie was not sure about this thing, but I am 100% sure about this thing. It is awesome. So this is just literally called the Schrade Shovel Saw combo. In classic Schrade fashion, they don't bother naming it because why does it need a name when it's perfect? No reason to name it. So you can get this sweet thing for $50. So it's got fully metal handle here. The top and the bottom both unscrew. So the bottom unscrews. There's a fire rod inside.
Nice.
No, I mean not micarta, but there's a fire rod inside. There's a capsule inside of that. Tons of room inside the thing for whatever else you want to put in there. Other survival necessities. I mean, if I'm John Rambo, probably like some C4 or something.
Oh,
like that.
absolutely.
Just pack that in there, no big deal.
Yeah. Or you're going to make C4 out of mud, some gum, and some saliva
And
from a gecko.
Exactly. And well, gecko saliva we know is a little more combustible, so you're right. You're right. You called it. Of course, it's got a compass on the end.
Of course.
It's got to have a compass on the end. And then I noticed this like right before we started. It has a bottle opener on one side of the shovel, and then a can opener, which is a little more practical, right, on the other side. And then this head also twists off. It's completely waterproof. It's got like the rubber band, right, to seal it up. And then you can put your saw on. So the Schrade Shovel Saw combo. I'm just saying, this year, Schrade has been making a lot of knives for me because I'm into this and I'm super into that slingshot they make. The slingshot knife is awesome.
We should do an episode of Zach versus Schrade. And all it is you going out and doing all your Zach stuff with
these
Schrade tools.
I love it.
I think it's a good idea.
They really are killing it.
I'd watch that.
So that was a new arrival that Jamie wasn't quite sure, but I had to have on the table. So I hope that you guys pick yourself up a sweet Schrade Shovel Saw combo. Or maybe we just call it the perfect Rambo. Maybe that's what it's called now.
The perfect Rambo. This is the Rambo go. Rambo on the go.
Rambo on the go. Are you a Rambo on the go?
Yes, I am.
Well, us at Schrade have the answer. I don't know. I love some of the stuff they're doing is amazing. Awesome. Well, that's all the new arrival stuff. If you guys are tuning in live, thank you so much for tuning in live. If you're not tuning in live, also, of course, thank you for tuning in. We are doing Week 1 Wednesday, and we are talking about big pocket knives. So recently, over the last year and a half, I've been slowly carrying more and more big folders. I've always been kind of a smaller folder type of guy, and I've been falling in love with them. And yesterday I impulse bought, pocket check, you'll see what it is, but yesterday I impulse bought a huge knife, and we got to talking, we're like, dude, we should do a wow on just big folding knives. So rest assured, there is plenty of cold steel on the table. And Kurt, what do you have? Well, let's start with you. We're gonna start with what Kurt has. What's your first knife on the table?
I have a cold steel.
Perfect.
I have got the Voyager XL. Now, I was told at the beginning of the show, Kurt, you are not allowed to open these knives with one hand. Use two hands.
He has to open and close the knives with two hands. We also made the mistake of giving you triad locks, so we're gonna see if Kurt can close them.
Let's just be honest. It's been a long time since I've got. So I think I'm good. This is the Cold Steel Voyager XL Vaquero. This thing is $70 of 5.5 inches of Oz 10A steel. This thing is a beast. I don't need. Okay, is this a Persian shape?
No, I think that's the Vaquero blade style.
Vaquero?
Yeah, Vaquero.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a 1.5 hams. Folding sword.
Usually it's like, it gets 3 fingers from the ham, but no, 1.5 whole hams.
Oh, dude, we're just a pinky falling off the end there, dragging along the ship. Anyway, if you are wanting a big pocket knife, Cold Steel has a ton of options. This is just one of the many, and we have more that we're going to show. Just your polymer, really, really grippy. Like, man, if you want to jump in the water and have a knife fight with a clownfish, this will be the knife for you.
Always the clownfish.
It's always the clownfish, man. Anyway, $70, 5.5 inch blade, Cold Steel, Voyager XL.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's the thing is I mean, spoiler alert, guys, if you didn't already know, out of everything on the table, as far as big knives go, consistently, we have some amazing entries on the table, but consistently, like across the board, I would say Cold Steel does the best job at fitting a big knife in your normal size pocket.
Oh, big time.
Now, at the end of the day, like, you're not going to be able to put your phone in with that knife or anything, of course, but they do such a good job at packing so much knife into just like a normal pocket. Now, if you have girl pockets, or, you know, like, obviously not going to happen, right? Like, right. But in a purse or something like that.
I call it the modified pocket.
If you have a modified pocket, it may not work out as well. But anyways, on the note of Cold Steel, we're just going to jump into two right out of the gate. The 4MAX Scout. Now, this is actually one of the knives that has converted me to carrying big knives again. So it started with the AD-15, so the Cold Steel AD-15, which we don't have on the table, but the AD-15 is a knife that I was like, this is a huge knife. Lynn Thompson himself gave it to me, so I was like, well, I'm going to carry it, right? Like, it was such a kind gift. And it really did convert me. And then I got myself 4MAX Scout almost exactly a year later, and I carried this for a long time, and I was like, this is surprisingly good. Like, this works surprisingly well. But yeah, so kind of the same thing. This is a 4-inch blade, 10 inches total length, G10 handles. Just a great, really big knife. And I'll tell you, when kind of all the craziness in the world started out and everybody was buying all the toilet paper and stuff,
right?
I went to the grocery store and I just happened I was there really late. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning. It's actually like when I'm normally at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people there, and there was a lot of like unopened boxes of like food and stuff. And I needed to get a couple cans of beans because I was making tacos the next day. And so there's no beans on the shelf. So, so here's the thing. I'm at the grocery store. There's a bunch of like, kind of like half panicked people. Not really, you know?
And you whip out
not thinking about it. This is the only knife I got in my pocket. And I'm just like, boom. And there were like 2 girls in the aisle. And they literally were like, whoop, and turned around and left the aisle.
Like, all right, this guy's going crazy right now on this cans of beans.
And I was like, oh, I'm just trying to get 2 cans of beans for tacos. So that opens up, I think, an interesting reality of carrying a bigger knife. Even if it's something, we have some kind of actually classy big knives on the table. Even if it's something kind of classy, when you pull out a big knife, you're not getting around the fact you're making a statement, right? Like, you're not carrying a big knife and people are not noticing it, right?
Right.
But there's also a lot of advantages to carrying a big knife. Like, when I carry a big knife, it feels a lot, especially a Cold Steel with that triad lock, it feels a lot like carrying a fixed blade. You know what I mean? It's just like, I can do anything with this, no questions asked.
Yep.
So, but that Cold Steel 4MAX, it goes for $110.49 on the website. That is a lot of knife for $110.
Dude, another thing about Cold Steel, and this is just because I opened so many boxes to take photos of so many different knives. Cold Steel, they have very slim, slender boxes. And then you pull this thing out and you're like, holy cow, how'd that all fit in there?
No, it's true. Like, if
you get the most knife per box out of any product.
Anybody else. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Oh, hey, real quick, we got a couple shout outs. So, oh man, there's somebody from Maui and he has an amazing like name from Hawaii, and I can't say it right, guy, but we'll just say Kamela Kalawihi. I'm so sorry, dude. I know I murdered that. But anyways, this is his this is his first time on WoW. Shout out from our brother out in Maui. Thanks, man. Sorry for murdering your name. And then the FBI was in chat apparently.
Oh my gosh.
So FBI asked Blade HQ, could you wish me a happy B-Day for tomorrow?
Happy birthday.
FBI, happy birthday tomorrow. And then Robert Skiles, he said he's first time here. He needs a shout out from Kurt's Hams.
Shout out from my hams.
The actual hams. I love it. I love it. Guys, if you guys want to shout out, let us know. If you guys have a big pocket knife that you've been carrying, let us know and we can pull it. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you've been doing with it, and we'll pull them live and put them on the table. We already have a couple of your guys' suggestions here. But all right, Kurt, what's your next
I'm
one?
up. I got a Civivi Vexer. This is a neat knife made by Civivi. It's got a reversible pocket clip, deep carry. We're looking at D2 steel here. 4-inch blade. You got yourself some milled G10 scales. This is actually a really cool knife. And where you were talking about big knives and maybe even like being able to dress up a big knife, I think this 4-inch Civivi kind of hits that mark.
Yeah.
It's a nice smooth knife.
Yeah.
It's got the looks. What were you going to say?
Same blade length as the Formex, actually.
Right.
But a completely different profile.
Totally different profile. Right? Yeah. And $60.
Dude.
That's a lot of knife for $60.
You gotta love those Civivis, man. They're so good.
Yep.
And I will say, we say that even when Civivi isn't the sponsor of the show.
Right, exactly.
That's the beauty of having them sponsor the show is they never tell us what to say. We just do what we want.
They come super centered. Like almost every single one I've ever looked at is centered. They're just spot on their quality control.
Yep.
So yeah, Civivi Vexer. $60.
Next up, we have a knife from BRS. Now, normally we're used to seeing BRS making balisongs, but if you guys didn't know, BRS also makes some folders, and this is the BRS Thresher XL. So this is a 3.8-inch blade, 8.8 inches overall, titanium construction. I forget the blade steel on this, S35 VN blade steel on this. Honestly, it's a cool little knife.
That is cool.
The thing is like when you think BRS, you always think balisong. And they actually do have like the little chevrons that they put in the balisongs.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool, like little throwback to the balisong stuff. It's got a 2-way reversible pocket clip, really nice construction. You really can't go wrong. So nice big knife, very slim, but still a really neat blade profile and everything.
Yeah, I really like the color with the thumb stud, little color pop.
Yep.
That was a good knife. When I was looking at the table before, I was like, oh yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah, I should have given
I got my eye on that one.
I'm sorry. I was crushing on it too, that's why I put it on my side.
Oh, it's all good.
So you can pick up this BRS Thresher XL for $170 on the website. Premium materials, nice build, and something kind of different, right? Like we don't see folders from BRS very often. So kind of a cool knife.
All right. My next one up over here is the Hogue EX-A01. This little entry from Hogue. It's cool. You got your milled aluminum scales. You got your safety. It is an automatic knife. Looks like you've got your tip up or tip down carry. And we've got 154 cm steel, and this is a 4-inch blade. So another 4-inch blade.
Yep.
To some people, I don't know if a 4-inch blade is really that big. I mean, you gotta have big hands. That knife's pretty big in my hand.
I was gonna say the thing is like a 4-inch knife. Like yes, like you rock a Medford, like a full Medford Praetorian. That's a huge knife, and we have some. We have an Espada XL on the table, right? That's a folding sword. But I think in the world of knives, I think you start hitting that 4-inch or above, you're into big knife territory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Honestly, breaking 3.5 inches sometimes on the blade length, sometimes that even is a pretty big knife. Yeah.
You know, one thing I've noticed, we have a couple automatics on the table.
Yeah.
I am impressed if a big knife that is automatic can still snap open. Because that's a lot of blade. That's a lot of real estate to move.
Yep.
Hogue gets it. That has a strong spring. That thing jumps open. Especially for how big and heavy the knife is. That's
actually the one Hogue that I don't own yet that I want.
It's a nice one.
I love the profile, the lines. It's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And $212 on the website.
Nice. All right, right on. Now, we were just talking about blade lengths. So this is the Benchmade Outlast. This thing, blade lengths come in right around 3 1/4, 3.5 inch for the blade length, depending on which blade. So this isn't a big knife necessarily because of the blade length, right? I'd say this is a medium to big.
But it's got some girth.
It's a thick boy. Yep.
Thick boy.
That's it. So when we take that and even comparing it to like this ZT, which is a pretty thick knife also, which we'll get to, it's way thicker than that. So kind of a cool knife from Bench. Not kind of, actually. I don't want to downplay it. I actually love this knife.
Yeah, so, you rocked it for a long time.
Yeah, and I still take this knife all the time with me. It's just such a good knife. So you get the pry blade with the serrations, and then you get just your regular blade there, all running on the same axis lock. If you want, I actually don't care about this feature at all. I just love the knife generally. It does have a seatbelt cutter, if that's something that you're looking for in a knife, and then it does have a glass breaker.
Nice.
My one critique with this knife, again, this is another knife that actually fits pretty well in the pocket, even with how thick it is. My one critique, though, is that glass breaker is really sharp. And so reaching in and out of your pocket with that in your pocket,
every once in a while.
it gets your hand every once in a while. So that's my only critique of this thing. To be honest, I actually like dulled it down.
Yeah.
So that it was more comfortable.
There you go.
So yeah. So anyways, Benchmade Outlast, stellar knife. $276 on the website for that bad boy right there.
All right, I've got a CRKT. This is the Carson M16. Now, this thing is the serrated, obviously. I can't remember what the name they...
Is that a VEF? Is it the VEF serrations?
I think it is.
It looks like it is.
VEF serrations. This is a classic design from CRKT. I mean, they've had these things.
That's probably their number one selling knife of all time, if I had to guess.
Right,
yeah.
right. And you can get them in a ton of different sizes. This one is just shy of 4 inches. It's 3.8-inch blade. It's got this interesting safety back here. It releases the liner lock on the other side, which is interesting. You got your 4-way, I mean, this is 4-way reversible pocket clip. These things are so customizable, it's crazy. Tonto blade, Kit Carson design.
Yep.
And you can pick this one up for the low price of $62.95.
$62.95. And those knives, every time we talk to somebody who served in the military that's not a knife guy,
yeah,
they're almost always are like, oh yeah, I had a Cricket, right?
A Cricket.
It's almost always the Cricket M16.
Cricket M16.
CRKT M16.
Yep.
So many men and women in the United States, like military service, carry that knife. And it's probably because that's what is sold at the
right.
different base shops and stuff like
plus
that.
Plus, it looks cool.
It looks cool.
Right.
It's an affordable
tough.
knife. It's tough, right? Yeah. So, but anyways, another knife that's seen a lot of action and duty, actually, another big knife, is the Gerber 06 Auto. Yep. So this one also ended up being a combo blade. You guys know the 06 Auto. It's a great knife. It's fairly big. I mean, you got a 3.6-inch blade, 8.6 inches overall. Not only it being kind of long and in the handle and in the blade, but it's also fairly thick as well. So these knives are absolutely incredible. They can just take a beating. Made in Portland, Oregon. Yeah. So cool knife from Gerber. And there's a bunch of different versions of those, but you can pick this specific one up on the website for right around $170.
Cool. Oh, let's see. My next one is a Microtech Combat Troodon. Now, this one's cool. It's the two-tone dagger blade. You've got your green aluminum, your thumb actuator. It's got a deep carry pocket clip, a glass breaker. This one is LMAX steel, and the blade is 3.8 inches plus.
Dude, for an OTF, that's a big OTF.
If you haven't handled an OTF, let alone a big OTF, if you ever get the chance, just put one in your hand and fire it. That thing, even for the hams, that is big. That's a big knife.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of knife. You can get this one for around $500, and I think we have a few different variations of this.
Yeah, I think that's a little more of a premium build.
Right.
So a little more
it's
money,
got the LMAX steel and stuff.
Yeah.
So
cool. Guardian Tactical also makes a really big one. I can't remember the name of it. It's a number.
It's the 04...
Is it 0450?
5...
No, that's a ZT.
Wait, 0440?
Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, Guardian Tactical also makes a big one. But that Combat Troodon, like Kurt was saying, that thing just fires so good.
Plus the color.
Yep. It's
that
so good.
That green gets me, man.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have an entry from Artisan Cutlery. Not a company that makes a lot of big knives, but they do have some surprise entries into the big knife category. You guys may or may not have seen, this is a front flipper. So this is a big front flipper, 3.5 inches on the blade, 8 inches overall, just over 8 inches overall for the knife. So again, this is probably on that medium to large for guys, especially guys that like to carry a really big knife. But I would say for a carbon fiber front flipper, this is a pretty dang big knife.
That's huge.
Yeah, most of the time when you see carbon fiber front flippers, you're got a little stuff on the blade still. What you're seeing is you're seeing gentleman knife, right? Very small.
Yeah, 3 inches, maybe 3 1/4 and under.
Exactly. Yeah. So still a really great knife. It's got titanium frame lock on one side and then the carbon fiber on the other. Nice milled titanium pocket clip, and even I can. I think. I'm on camera. It's not gonna happen.
You can do it.
There it is.
There you go.
Even I can front flip it. So it's a really nice little knife. And you know, that's the thing is carrying a big knife. Sometimes it's not always about just being prepared or feeling like Rambo, right?
Right.
Like sometimes it's about like you're just a bigger guy and you need a bigger knife, right?
Yeah.
To just feel like a normal knife, right? Like a 3.5 inch or a 3-inch knife.
For sure.
So this is nice and slim. Go in the slack pockets, no problem. And kind of a cool entry from Artisan Cutlery, and that goes for $199.99 on the website. So $200. S35 VN blade, nice build.
Yeah,
really
it's
smooth
nice.
front flipper.
That's interesting that it's a front flip.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
rarely see a big front
Yeah,
flipper.
a front flipper. If you guys know a front flipper bigger than that, leave it in the comments. Because I actually, I can't think of a front flipper that's that big, in like both in width and in height. Like it's a big knife.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I have another CRKT. This one right here is called the Jumbones. It's an Oz 8 blade. This is a very long knife. Like, that's a long knife. It's a 4.8-inch blade. The overall length is almost 11 inches.
Jeez, that might be the biggest one we've had on the table
inches.
yet. That is the biggest one we've had yet.
This thing's crazy. It's got this really cool milled titanium. I'm almost positive it's titanium.
Oh, I don't think so.
Stainless steel.
Yeah.
I was way off.
Because what's the price on that thing?
$100.
Yeah, $100. Yeah, I was like, there's no way titanium.
$100. So the Jumbones is the big daddy of the crossbones, right? Isn't it? So CRKT, they like to push that limit. And they did that with this Jumbones right here.
If you guys haven't watched, me and Ryan from CRKT, we sat down last weekend and talked through some of the new stuff. They have a blacked out Jumbones coming. I actually asked him, I was like, why does this knife exist? And he's like, okay, well, here's the thing. Like our product manager, Puukko's trying to talk to me while I'm trying to keep an eye on your guys' comments. Our product manager, or our product designer or whatever, he showed him that in a meeting, an R&D meeting. And they're like, well, why does this exist? And he's like, because it's awesome. And I'm like, okay, good enough for me. I can appreciate that.
Sweet. It is pretty sweet. I mean, that's 5-inch flipper, and it jumps open pretty smooth.
Yeah, man.
So,
well, 11 inches overall.
11.
That's a big
overall
knife, man.
inches.
That's a big knife.
Yeah, that's a big old boy right there.
Right on.
So.
All right, guys, we're getting to about halfway-ish with some of these knives here. So make sure to tell us what's in your pockets. We'll give you guys a pocket check shout out. We'll check my pocket. We'll check Kurt's pocket. I have a couple shout outs here on the phone. So we've got, let's move it here. Jamie says when I move my head this way, the audio is not as good. And I don't want to make Jamie mad because then he throws stuff at me. It's very abusive sometimes.
He's violent. He's just violent.
Just kidding. Jamie's like the best guys. So anyways, Moto Knives and Guns by JT. Me and him are already instant friends, apparently. Right. So motorcycles, knives, and guns, we're good. He said, shout out, broski, my first two. So shout out to Motor Knives, Guns, and whatever by JT.
JT for short.
Yeah, my best friend JT wanted a shout out, so I gave him one. No big deal. Helen Casey said, aloha from Hawaii. Oh, a couple guys from Hawaii in the chat tonight. Ken B said, OMG, I want a shout out from Kurt's hands. We can't make this a thing. Oh my gosh. We can't make this a thing.
We can't do it. Hey, guys, we can't.
Here's the thing, Ken. Send us a message on Instagram, and I'll have Kurt send you a personalized video with the ham hands.
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe we just made it a thing. Did we just make it a thing?
No, don't make that a thing. Don't make that... No, guys. The hams don't speak. The hams just do.
William Robbins says, can I get a shout out? I love the channel. So William, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, whether you're live or not, we really appreciate all the support you guys give the channel. It gives us a chance to sit around, talk knives, and be goofs, but also to interact with you guys and just be part of the knife community. We love it. It's great stuff. Let's see, Dylan Elzerberry, he said, shout out please, watching from Sandy, Utah on a slow night shift. Just got in the brass Elementum. I can't stop carrying it. Love it so much and hope someday to be able to get the natural G10 one. So, Dylan, the local boy. So
yeah, he's up and around the
shout
street.
out. That's awesome, man. Thanks for tuning in. And the natural G10 Elementums, I believe, will be back. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. So, if you want one and you missed the last drop, we should be getting more, hopefully. So, but anyways, on to another big knife on the table. Rounding back around to cold steel for a little while. This is the Cold Steel SR1 Lite. This is the second to last knife that I've just purchased. My last two knife purchases have been huge knife purchases. Not cold steel.
Oh, yeah.
Because the other one's one in my pocket.
That's right.
Yeah. So I bought that yesterday. But Did I buy it today? The days are blurring together, man. I don't know what day it is.
It's July. I
Who
know
cares?
that.
Who cares? Who cares what day it is? We're doing well. That's all that matters.
It's live.
I can tell you it's the first Wednesday of the month. That's what I know right now.
Heck yeah.
So this is the SR1 Lite Tonto. This thing is amazing. I've been carrying this thing like pretty consistently for the last couple weeks. Overall length is 9.3 inches. Blade length is 4 inches. So definitely big. But dude, look at the stock on
Yeah,
that.
that's a big.
This is a
thick
big knife.
knife,
Yeah. Like even if it's not a monster in length, this is a big knife. And you get the triad lock. Nice enough pocket clip. That is one thing with cold steel is I wish that the pocket clip was a little bit deeper.
Right.
It actually might be hard to get the knife out with how far it sits in your pocket though. So maybe it's good that it's not a deeper pocket clip. But anyways, this knife goes for $59.49 on the website. I would say out of everything on the table, this knife might be the biggest bang for your buck if you want a big knife.
I would probably say the exact
Yeah,
same
like
thing.
if you want to just carry a stupid big knife and get a feel for what it's like to have a big EDC knife, SR1 Lite. That's probably the one to go with.
Yep.
So
that's a sweet knife too.
so good.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, I've got one of your favorites over here.
Ooh, what do you got?
I've got a Buck 110.
Okay, is this a big knife? I picked it because I was like, I feel like it's a big knife. Maybe it's not.
3.75 inches.
That's pretty long. It's pretty long.
Pretty long.
What's the overall length on it?
Overall is 8.5 inches.
Yeah, man. I feel. Let us know, guys. Let us know in the comments. Is the Buck 110, the auto or the lockback, is it a big knife?
I think it's a big knife. I think it's like a. You know how there's like medium and then well done? It's like a medium well.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Okay.
like a medium large.
Yeah. I got you. It's a medium large.
But yeah, dude, Buck 110. You guys know everything about it. 420 steel. The blade we said was 3.75 inches long. It is a lockback. You've got your ebony wood and your brass bolsters. And this thing's a classic. If you guys don't know what a Buck 110 is, do some research.
If you don't know what a Buck 110 is,
Ask somebody else's grandpa.
Google it.
Google it. No, this thing's cool, man. It's a classic design. I feel like this is the first type of knife that most people get.
And I think the interesting thing, I think I have to eat my words from earlier. I think you could pull out a Buck 110, and I don't think people would react too much to it.
Doesn't have the scare factor.
It doesn't.
Maybe grandpa carried
and that's it. Is there? And maybe that's why I don't feel like it's too big. It's just so familiar. It's not
Right.
like a CRKT M16 that's like tactical.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, they're similar size knives. Like they're not that much smaller or bigger, but
Right.
but that CRKT M16 just looks so much bigger.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the special lock.
Oh, I got it.
Also, don't cut yourself.
Hey, 2 knives at once, guys. That's pretty good. But yeah, the Buck 110. I think it's borderline big. I don't know. I don't know if it's borderline big,
Borderline
but I
big.
do think you're
Yeah.
right on the oh my goodness, the wow factor of people, the innocent bystanders that are like, Zach needs his beans for tacos.
Right.
You
We're
know,
gonna leave the aisle.
and for $45, that is a pretty sweet knife.
It is. Also, I want to be clear. My intention was not to worry anybody. I was literally just, that's what I had in my pocket. And I actually felt really bad. I was like, oh man.
Where's the beans?
Right. Yeah, I really felt bad about that. But it was a pretty funny story that I was like, of course I had a 4-Max Scout in my pocket when people are panicking a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah.
anyways. All right, next one on the table, we actually don't have full specs for just yet. We're gonna show you guys a prototype of something that doesn't exist just yet. So sneaky, here's a secret. Literally, this is the first time though anybody has seen this except for at Blade HQ and probably at Boker as well.
Probably.
That's right. That is an XL, or maybe an XXL. I can't remember what we're calling it. Like I said, this is still a prototype, guys.
3.
This is a Kalashnikov, basically, is what I'm getting at. And talk about big knives. This thing is huge. And it snaps so good. And it's probably going to be a little more snappy when we're done, because we're still prototyping. It'll come with D2 blade, and then everything else you guys love about the beautiful Kalashnikov. So just a huge Kalashnikov knife. Kurt, you've got a Desert Warrior over there, right?
I sure do.
Just a huge Kalashnikov. Honestly, it's a bit of a fun knife. but the closer it gets to getting finished, the more it becomes a real knife. Like when we first were looking at these and kind of prototyping some stuff, I was like, oh yeah, this is fun, kind of kitschy, whatever knife. But now as it gets closer to finish, I'm like, oh wait, this is actually really nice. Like it's a good little knife. What do you got? 1 1/4 hams?
Dude, you know what? I'm about 1.5 hams.
1.5 hams.
1.5 hams.
We need a scale. You know the Rockwell hardness? We need a ham scale.
We do. We need a ham scale. Maybe a ham scale T-shirt.
That's awesome.
Then people can quick reference.
Charlie Chilson II. He said, oh, and he's a second, so careful.
Whoa, second monocle.
He said the Buck 110 is medium. Which is probably right.
Yeah,
but,
you're probably right.
It's on the table anyway, so it is what it is.
Right.
All right. Why don't you do one more? I'll do one more, and then let's do some pocket checks. So, guys, if you guys want a pocket check, call out. Let us know what you're carrying. We always love to know what you guys are carrying. We'll show you what we're each carrying, and we'll dive into some more knives.
Okay, I've got a Protech. This is I just locked it. This is the TR-4. This is the Tactical Response 4. I have a very small gripe to pick, and I think it's a personal preference. I am not a big fan of how that feels.
Oh yeah, you don't like that powdery hand. I like the powdery handle feel.
See, I think a lot of other people don't mind it,
yeah.
But for me, it is
not a fan.
It's like holding a chalkboard.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I see what you're saying.
But this thing's cool. 4 inches. I think that this is a big knife, especially for an automatic. Mm-hmm. Plus, it's a Protech. It snaps open super fast. I mean, that's probably one of the fastest big autos that we even have. But D2 steel, I mean, it's Protech, made in the USA. Your drop point blade there. It's got this cool milled spacer. It's a cool knife. And honestly, if you're looking at Protechs, you kind of know what you're looking for, and you know what you're gonna get. I don't know if I can get over the scales.
I remember you bringing that up before, and I see where you're coming from. I like it because it gives the knife a little bit of grip, right? That coating, it makes it so it's not slippery, right?
I agree. And this knife is actually extremely comfortable in my hands. If your hands are close to the same size as mine, the TR-4 is a great sized auto. So that's a cool one, and $250 on the website.
Nice, they're done. So going to another American-made brand, we have ZT knives. And what am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong. Oh, hand was on the lock bar. So this is the ZT-0308. So a 3.75 inch blade, 8.8 inches overall. So, again, breaking into big knife for sure, breaking into a large knife for sure. But then just the overall width of this thing steps it into that big knife category for sure. So you get the G10 handles, kind of this interesting pivot point. Visually, I'm not really a fan of it, but it doesn't really have any practical effect on the knife, good or bad. So visually I'm not a fan, but practically does make a difference, right? Thing flips open really good. Everything you want from ZT. It's got a 20 CV blade. Yeah, just really smooth, and it's a big knife. This is a nice big smooth knife. So really good job, ZT. I know over the years, ZT's kind of been in and out with some of the fans about some of the stuff they've created, being hard use knives. I would say this is for sure in the vein of the traditional classic overbuilt ZT knife.
I agree. Yeah, and honestly, some of those ZTs, I mean, they make a couple smaller knives that feel that way, but even those, when I get them in my hand, I'm like, you can just tell that the materials, everything, I mean, that is a solid knife.
Yep.
If you want one that you never have to worry about it being off or, blade play or anything like that,
Exactly.
ZT, they nail it.
Yeah,
they nail it every time.
An incredible job. Sweet. All right, let's do some pocket checks. So, guys, put your pocket checks in the stream. We have Emmeline in the live stream going through your guys' comments right now. But Kurt, what are you carrying today? I don't even know what you're carrying today. I haven't even seen what you're carrying today yet.
I have.
Oh wait, you told me. Oh yeah, okay.
It's just my bug out, but I
Bugout.
had my this is my full size bug out. It's not the CF Elite. It's the original black.
The OG blackout.
The OG blackout. I have some Flytanium G10 scales on there, which I absolutely love, that slate blue color. And I've got my custom laser on there.
Ooh yeah.
Got myself on a longboat. you know.
Kurt the Viking.
So anyway, it's weird. I've been carrying the mini for so long now, just because it's like my go-to shorts knife. And my mom was borrowing this one for quite a while.
Nice.
I know.
I love it.
No joke. She would like say, "Whoppa! Look, I have a bug out." I'm like, oh my gosh, come on. Anyway, it's nice to have the full size back in my hand, but I will tell you, I remember when the mini came out, I was like, I don't know, guys.
Yep.
I don't know. But now I'm like, I freaking love that knife.
Yep.
And so to have this one back, it's weird. Like, it feels great in my hand, but yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because it's, they are so, because the mini doesn't feel like a mini. It's like a medium, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they're so close in size. Yeah, totally.
Anyway, got that Flytanium scale life going.
Oof, those, man, if you guys haven't check out Flytanium, those dudes make some awesome stuff. We've got a bunch of Flytanium stuff on the website. I mean, basically, you can modify any knife.
Yeah,
that's a big statement.
And
you can modify most of your favorite knives.
Well, not only that, but you can modify some fairly inexpensive knives, like CRKT Polar.
Yep.
If you want a Polar and you like the looks of it, but you want to just like spice it up a little bit, search Flytanium Polar, and we have a bunch of different scales for a ton of different knives.
Exactly. That's what we used in the anodizing video that we did.
Right. We
used the titanium scale for the Polar, and then we anodized it.
Yeah,
so
see?
A lot of cool stuff. All right, let's see. Jared Hirsch, he says, "Hey Jamie, can I get a shout out? I just got my first bug out, and it's been blue." It was all in caps, so great. I actually like the blue one, to be honest. I think the blue one's my favorite, to be honest.
It's the OG.
Just because it's just the original, right? Like,
yeah.
Also, Kurt, Zach, and Jamie equals the Dream Team or the Three Musketeers. Nice.
Yes.
Thanks, buddy. Jexter said he just got an SR1 Lite, and it is a beast knife. Truth. Let's see. Peak Centaur. Man, that is just an amazing name. Peak Centaur.
Peak Centaur.
Man, I want somebody one day to see me at the beach, and be like, "Oh, that dude's Peak Centaur." like your physique is just Peak Centaur. Jamie might be approaching Peak Centaur.
Jamie is.
I think he's getting there.
He's getting there.
He said he's carrying a Benchmade Bugout with Flytanium copper scales. Nice. Rock scale designs, backspacer, and a Casey Lynch clip deep carry pocket clip. Dude, Peak Centaur is also peak knife mods, man. That's a tricked out bug out right there. Peyton Weiner, he said, shout out. First time catching the live. Oh wait, I'm doing the thing Jamie told me not to do. Let's do this. Whew, I almost got something.
It's okay, I got you, Peyton. I'm glad you're.
Yeah, you just.
I'm glad you're watching.
See, guys, this is what I have to live with. Jamie throwing things at me.
Hey, I need those Post-it notes. Remind me to grab those.
Jamie Weiber said he's his first time catching the live. Kurt is my spirit animal. He inspired me to get my mini bug out. It's in my pocket every day.
Caw-caw! Dude, I love that.
Yeah, that's
Heck
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude,
man.
That's sweet, man.
All right, we got a couple more shout outs here. If you guys want to shout out, make sure to put them in the live chat. I'll show you what I'm carrying real quick. So I have what I've been carrying since it released. I've got a Banter, because of course I got it.
Because why not?
Yeah, I can't. My buddy Ben can't have a knife come out with wee knives, and I don't get it.
Right.
And on top of that, it's actually a really good knife. I actually really like this
sweet.
knife. So I was fortunate enough to be able to carry one before they were released. When they were doing some testing and stuff, Ben wanted to get some opinions. Wee knives wanted to get some opinions. So I carried it for a while. I was the first person to cut myself with a Banter. So
nice.
Yeah, it's a great story. I'll have to tell sometime about getting stuck in the mud in a the heaviest Sprinter van that they make. That's rear wheel drive. So we'll have to do that sometime.
It's the adventure van. You guys should see it. It's sweet.
It's awesome. But anyways, so I've been carrying the Banter a lot lately. Actually, this knife might have been in my pocket since the launch. I think this knife is the only knife I've carried since the launch. And then this is the knife that I just stress bought the other day. Not stress, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Impulse, man. You're just impulse.
Yeah, I don't impulse buy a lot of knives, so I don't even know what to call it. But yeah, I had to get myself an XL Sheepdog. We actually have an XL Sheepdog on the table, but I've been wanting one of these things for so long. And if you guys look at the thumbnail of this video, that's actually my hand, some stuff from my pockets, and this knife. And so Jamie was kind of positioning me, and I had this knife like in my hand, and we're kind of like walking around a little bit. And I'm realizing, like, dude, if this knife falls, it's gonna cut my finger off. Like, it's not a super heavy knife, but it's heavy enough, and this thing is scary razor sharp. Like, Yeah, it's not a game. If you buy one of these knives, be careful because it is
Plus,
not a game.
that's a big blade. There's a lot of weight to that cleaver.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know
And
what
this
I
is the
mean?
thing is, we talk about big knives. Like, this is what I normally carry.
Right.
And I've been carrying this stuff lately. So yeah, anyways. Those are the two knives that I've recently purchased and a big knife that I've been stoked on.
It's pretty
so
awesome.
This is, I think, the last 2 days I've been carrying this one.
Nice.
Good stuff. Anyways, so a couple more shout outs. Let's see, we've got Pete Walker. He's carrying a Spyderco Smock and a CF Elite Bugout. Ken Anderson has got a large knife, the Cold Steel Frenzy. That's a large knife.
That's a big knife.
John Demkak says he's rocking a brand new PM2 that my wife got me for my birthday, Father's Day. Hashtag
Nice.
keeper. Dude, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Super awesome. Alex Watson, he's got an Elementum in S35 VN and a pair of 3 lightweight. Great
Nice.
carries. Arctic Truck 502, he's carrying a Griptilian in D2 with AWT custom scales. I'm digging this customization
Yeah,
vibe
there's
going on
some
in the comments
people
tonight.
doing a little mods on their
Yeah,
stuff.
man. And then Grant Witt said he's carrying the Leatherman P4 and the Boker Strike Black Widow. Those are both awesome. The Boker Strike's stellar, but those P4s, man, I really dig those one-handed Leathermans. I think they're cool. I think the bit driver could be replaceable. That'd be the only thing I think I would change on the P2, P4 free series, is that the bit driver is replaceable. So, anyways, let's see. We did the ZT. We don't have a lot of time left. We got a lot of knives though.
Well,
We might not be able to get through all these.
on
guys.
my side of the table, we have the Sheepdog XL.
Oh, well, let's do the Sheepdog. We just kind of just already talked about that. Let's do the
Right.
Sheepdog XL.
Okay,
That's great.
we'll do the Sheepdog.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, guys. Zach's new knife, 4-inch blade, 154 cm, G10 scales. This thing is a hog. I
Dude,
don't know how.
Carefully fill the edge of that thing. That's factory. Isn't that scary? Like, it is scary how sharp that stupid thing is.
That is crazy, dude. That is a big knife, guys.
Yeah, man.
Holy cow. Yeah, big. Anyway, $100. 4-inch blade. Be like Zach. Do like Zach does and buy a Sheepdog XL.
I don't regret a thing, dude. I'm so stoked on it.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know if the only big knives I've ever carried have been fixed blades.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever carried a big folder.
Dude, I seriously have like 5 or 6 big ones that are in the rotation. I'll bring some in and let you cycle through.
All right.
Yeah. Once I dole out the Sheepdog and put a new edge on it, I'll let you carry that.
Okay.
But I want to be the one to scratch the baby. I want
Right.
to be the one to dole.
Oh
it.
yeah, you'll be the one that drops the
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
don't drop baby.
Don't drop the baby.
It's just scratch.
Just scratch. All right, cool. So next up we have Spyderco has a handful of pretty big knives, but we went with kind of a really classic. So this is the Spyderco Military 4-inch blade, 9.5 inches overall, G10 scales, S30VN blade with a liner lock. And yeah, this is just the granddaddy to the whole PM2, Para 3, all of that jazz. This is the military. It's not the paramilitary one, but the military. Good little knife. Nice and long, really slender, great slicer. And then again, just tons of handle. And this is the thing is, your reaction to that Sheepdog is exactly why I've been enjoying carrying big EDC knives. There's just something to carrying these big knives where you're just like, yes,
Yeah.
He-Man.
Yeah. It's fun. It gives you that.
It does. And there's that balance of finding, I think, at least for me, there's a balance of finding something that's big, but also fits in the pocket well, right?
Right.
And this Spyderco Military, definitely, like, it's nice and slender. It is really long, but it's like nice and thin.
Right.
Gets the job done. So if you like your PM2, but you want something bigger, military. I mean, that's the answer right there. So cool little knife, or cool big knife from Spyderco.
Hey, I have a Spyderco too.
And that military goes for $192 on the website.
I have the Spyderco Yojumbo.
Ooh,
That's a big old boy.
that is a big boy.
It's weird. It's like deceivingly big. It's a 4-inch blade, but it's just such an interesting shape that it's almost not that bad because down here the handle's fairly small.
Yeah, what's the overall length on that though?
So the overall length is 9.25 inches.
Yeah, so pretty big.
That's pretty damn big.
Pretty healthy.
S30V steel, which is awesome. You got your G10 scales, very grippy. You got your 4-way reversible clip. I actually really like the Yojumbo series, but the Yojumbo might be a little too big for me. But if you got big hands, and you like the Jumbo?
Yeah. Well, the Yojumbo, it's pure utilitarian, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That knife was
straight.
It was designed for self-defense right out the gate.
Right.
But then for everyday use, it's just a straight-up utility knife. Like if you need to process 10,000 boxes a day, Yojumbo, whichever way to get
Right.
The Yojimbo actually is the knife that has probably given me the worst cut I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah. Again, just how slicey that dang thing is, how sharp it comes out of the box.
Yeah.
What you just did, I went to Spidey flick it and it slipped. And then the knife fumbled and I stupidly went to catch it and like, boom, it just cut. Like,
dang.
Nice cut, man.
Yikes. Anyway, S30V, Yojumbo, $165 on the website. It's actually really cool. I like the blade shape. It's been growing on me over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
At first I was like, what in the freak is that? Like, what is it? Like a grumpy old troll?
I feel like that's how a lot of Spydercos are though, right? Like
Yeah.
you're at first glance you're like, that's ugly. And then you play with it a bit and you're like, I kind of like it a lot actually.
There's that one, I can't remember if it's a Salt series, but it looks like a crocodile. You open it up and there's like a lump where its eye is, and it's like jagged like a bunch of teeth. I don't know, guys. I relate knives to animals.
Knife, yeah. Kurt's always seeing
Knifeimals.
animals. Yeah, knifeimals. Kurt's always seeing knifeimals.
And faces.
All right. Next up in our big knife category is the Benchmade Adamas. I mean, this is just a classically big knife. So 3.8 inch blade. So again, not huge blade. Overall length 8.7 inches. So pretty long overall length. But you know, this made it on the table for a similar reason that the Outlast did. It's just really, really thick. So really thick blade, D2 steel. It's got an axis lock, nice thick stock, nice thick handle. I mean, it's a deep carry clip, but a little bit of the knife is still going to be exposed in your pocket. This is very much like, I don't know if I'd carry this knife in my pocket. It's so chunky. I don't think this would be a pocket knife for me. I think that I would put it in a bag or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, good little knife. Goes for $199 on the website. And you know, when we talk about knives, like we're like, oh, this one's not that big, right? Like compared to what's on the table. But then we compare it to like a standard what most people carry. It's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
And the Banter, admittedly, is a smaller knife.
Right.
But still, like it's pretty big.
Yep, so. I agree. So I've got some knives that some people want to check out.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, what do we got?
Well, first I've got the Kizer Megatherium.
Is it the Megatherium? Megatherium? Yeah.
Let's see. The Silent Night and the Uniphoto Bomber.
Oh, I was like, what are you reading? You're reading usernames.
Well, and there's some scribbles.
Right, these are the people that wanted to see the knife.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the Megatherium. It's $233. You got your S30VN steel. It's a very interesting, very Isham design.
Now, this is a big knife for sure. I mean, the blade is big. What's the blade length on that thing?
The blade length is 3.6.
Okay, so right now, what's the overall length?
Overall is 8.5.
I think this might be falling into that medium category.
It's borderline.
But that blade is so fat, right? It's such a fat blade. That's probably what knocks it into the large knife category, I guess. Yeah.
It's cool. Titanium, carbon fiber. This is cool. Carbon fiber, the way they have it laid and milled, it almost looks like wood grain. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. Milled pocket clip. Yeah, $233.
Cool.
So Silent Night and the Uniphoto Bomber. There you go, guys.
All right. I also have some fan suggested knives here. So a couple more knives on the table. This one is the Espada XL. Guys, we're not gonna have a knife banner about, or we're not gonna have a WoW or a knife banner about big knives and not have the Espada XL. Carson, are you even able to get that in full shot? Okay, he's shaking his head. Apparently you guys can see the whole thing because this thing is massive. So this is literally a folding sword. That's straight up folding sword. The blade length is 7.5 inches.
Oh my.
So the blade is just as long as some of the overall lengths of some of the big knives on the table. And then the overall length is 16 3/4 inches. So this is a big knife. Super big knife. Yeah, I mean, not much to say about this thing. It's just absolutely amazing. This particular one goes for $329.99 on the website. There's a couple different versions of it. S35 VN blade on this one.
Dude,
But,
that thing is classy too.
Yeah, it is.
It's all classed
It
up.
really is. And we've intentionally left these plastic pieces you guys are probably seeing at home. We've left that on to keep the bolsters protected and everything. But anyways, kind of a cool knife. And dude, I've been saying it this whole time, the whole while, like this knife shouldn't fit in your pocket. No. Just straight up, this knife shouldn't fit in your pocket. Here's the thing. We're just going to do it because we're live and that's what you do when you're live. So I'm going to pull some stuff out of my pocket. You guys are going to see all the stuff in my pocket now. All right, here we go.
Don't worry, 3 knives, a pen, and a flashlight.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. All right, so here's the thing. The Espada XL shouldn't fit in your pocket. Dude, look, it's stupid. Like, it really, and like I'm putting tension on my thigh here, but it really does fit in your pocket. Like, actually fits in your pocket. Now, are you going to put something else in there? No.
No.
But still, boop.
So is that an Espada XL or? I'm just kidding.
So yeah, Espada XL, guys. I said it once. I'll just say it forever. That you just can't. You really can't beat cold steel when it comes to fitting a huge knife into your pocket. So that was from Sergeant Sarcasm, and I don't know if he did that to be sarcastic or not, but it was going to be on the table either way, buddy. So there we go. And again, that one, $330 on the website.
All right, guys. This is my last one right here. This is the Cold Steel Spartan Copus. Now, Bill Outlaw and Red Metalworks, they wanted to check this one out. This one is an interesting one. I absolutely am not a crazy fan of the shape, but talk about a knife that just fits my hand. I think this knife was just made for me. No joke. My hand is like, it's the perfect size. It's crazy. 4.5-inch blade. Very interesting polymer handle. Got your triad lock. It's cold steel, man. $75.
Yeah. And that's based off of I think it's Greek. It's based off of a classic Greek blade design. So that's Greek swords actually would have that blade shape.
So that's why it's called the Spartan.
The Spartan. Exactly.
Copus.
Yep.
Spartan
exactly.
Copus. And yeah, so $75. Bill Outlaw and Red Metalworks. There you go.
Nice. Good pick. I like that we're like large knives and everybody's immediately cold steel.
Hey, it's true.
They're not wrong. I mean,
Right.
They're not wrong, right? Like, all right, cool. So this is my last knife. However, Emmeline, if you're watching, hopefully she's watching, I forgot the giveaway knives on my desk, and I think you're at my desk. Could you bring them in to Kurt, please?
Giveaway.
So we do have some giveaway knives on the way, but we want to show them off to you guys to let you know what they are. We're doing 2, only for 1 person, but we are doing 2 knives this while.
Nice.
So special giveaway this round. So this is from Stales33. He wanted to see the Spyderco Manix 2 XL. So obviously XL is in the name. It's a pretty big knife. 3.8 inches blade, almost 9 inches overall length. So again, right on that cusp of big knife. And it's not, the blade's not particularly wide or large or anything like that. So I think it's right on the cusp. Even though it is an XL knife, it's not an XL knife.
Right.
So yeah, but the Spyderco Manix 2 XL, great knife. You get S35 VN blade. You get the nice lock here that Spyderco has. 2-way reversible pocket clip. Just good blade.
Yeah,
So
those are cool knives.
yeah, they really are. Now I would imagine that Emmeline was already here.
You know what? Actually,
She may not hear me, so I don't know.
You know what? Talking about
open.
Manix XLs,
Yeah.
Flytanium makes a lot of cool stuff. You can
That's
actually
true.
buy the lock actuator from Flytanium.
All right, Emmeline snuck in and got us some giveaway knives.
She's so sneaky.
Here's the thing. You know what we should probably do here, Jamie, is I can talk, but Kurt has the knives. So probably put things on Kurt while I talk, I guess. So as you guys know, Week 1 Wednesday is brought to you by We Knives. They don't tell us what to say. They don't tell us what to put on the table, but they do give us awesome knives to give away from you guys. And this week we have a special giveaway because this is a fairly special knife for us and for We. This is the We Banter. This was designed by the man himself, Ben Peterson, Ben Banters on Instagram. Check him out. And we're giving away the 2 colors. So this was the 2 colors the knife came in originally. You can't get these right now. They're completely out of stock. We do have more on the way, so hopefully a few hundred more headed our way. When we sold these, a lot of you guys were like, I don't know which color to choose. I don't know which one to choose. And so I was like, well, we need to give away both then. So that way you don't have to be like, well, I wanted the blue one or I wanted the black one with the blue studs. The black one with the blue studs is obviously the best one.
That's the one I bought too.
But we didn't want you guys to have to feel like you missed out on the Ben Blue handles or the Blade HQ blue handles. So those are Ben Blue, I think. Those are a fair Ben Blue handle. But anyways, so the way you guys enter is Emmeline will be dropping a link in chat. She'll be dropping a link in the description of this video or the first comment somewhere in there. Just refresh if you're not seeing the link, and that link will take you over to win yourself both of those banters. So one person will win both banters. So we're pretty stoked on that knife and excited to get some out to you guys. All right, that's all we got for Week 1 Wednesday. We appreciate you guys following along. It really does mean a lot. We were talking in the office the other day. Things have been really crazy lately. I don't know if you guys knew. The world's a little crazy.
A little bit.
And we've all been feeling pretty tired around here, to be honest. Like, just a little rundown, like a little like, oh man, like tired is the word that keeps coming up.
You know it's bad when you're like, okay, Week 1 Wednesday is coming up. What time should I drink my Monster?
Exactly. What time do I mainline the caffeine?
Right? Exactly.
But even with all of that, it's so wonderful. Like, we are so lucky to have the jobs that we have because we get to come here, we get to handle some rad knives, we get to talk with you guys and just interact and have a good time. And like, honestly, this is kind of unwinding for me. Like, this is like the best. I have the best job ever. Just period. I got the best job ever. Like,
I'll tell you right now, I'm in knife banter every once in a while, but man, the stress that knife banter, and then when I'm live, I don't know what it is. It's just like, cool, let's hang out. Like,
exactly.
Whatever, let's let it roll. It's so fun. Good. It's like, it's a fun. I feel like we're engaging with the audience too, and we've got the comments and we're getting knives pulled for them and stuff. It's just fun being out here with you guys.
It really is. So we hope all of you guys are staying safe. We hope all of you guys are doing well. And I think that's it for this Week 1 Wednesday. Again, thank you so much for all the support. And we'll catch you on the next one. We got a knife banner coming this Friday, and it's Jamie and Kurt. So tune in. Fixed blade stuff. See you guys.